Morning everybody, it's Bear with preparedness.com. I have a shirt with a collar on it today because I have to go meet with clients and pretend to be slightly more human than usual, so that'll be fun. I was actually given this shirt by Brother Fletch at Ozarks Tactical Homestead. So OTH, you should go check out Ozarks Tactical Homestead. If you're into gear reviews and tactical homesteading with knife hands, go see Brother Fletch. Thanks for the shirt, brother. It looks tremendous. Now, I've been listening to David Dubine, Adapt 2030 this morning, and also Christian at the Ice Age Farmer. And let me just stop right there and say, I actively do not listen to those channels unless I have the money to buy food for food storage. I literally avoid the Ice Age Farmer unless I have money to buy food storage. Because every time I listen to Christian, I'm like, damn, I gotta buy more food, man. I gotta buy more food. And I've listened to David Dubine at Adapt 2030 un poquito, un little bito. But I was on the phone with a brother client friend yesterday, and he's like, man, you gotta start listening more. All right, gave me the verbal knife hand, and I was like, okay, roger that, copy. So I'm listening this morning, and what I'm getting from these conversations is, hey, man, this is gonna be a long-term thing. This is a new normal, this SHTF, this WROL, the end of the world as we know it, chaos. And a lot of it centers around, I think most of it centers around the issue of food storage, food crisis, the availability and the mobility of food. Now, David Dubine at Adapt 2030 and Christian at Ice Age Farmer know way more about this stuff than I do. I'm just kind of a spectator in the bleachers watching them perform on this particular sports field. Okay, I follow them because they know what they're talking about. I'm not really equipped to speak on the subject other than to say they make very compelling arguments to a guy like me. But man, I've had a gut feeling for a while now that when this thing falls apart, it's gonna fall apart hard. Our American way of life is not sustainable in the long term. Things are too easy for us. Food is cheap. Oil is plentiful. We don't have to work near as hard as our ancestors did in order to get things done. You know, the likelihood that any of us starve to death today is basically zero. So get out of my freaking spot, Dodge. Mach schnell. I got a Dodge Dually. I like to drive a half a mile faster than the person that I'm trying to pass for 18 miles. Thank you, sir. Anyway, I think it's going to be a long-term thing, man. I think it's a new normal, and I could not encourage you more strongly to stack food to the rafters. Get out of there. There we go. How's that? Better. That's my rear view mirror. It's good now. I can see the back corner of my pickup truck bed. Safe driving practices. So, yeah, I think it's going to be long term, man. I got to a year's worth of food a while ago, and then I was like, something just told me 4 years. You need 4 years. I'm really thinking 7 now. I think that there's a biblical onus for 7 years of food. The story of Joseph, 7 years of fat, 7 years of lean. And I've said before at this channel that we are in the fat times and we need to act like it. We need to be putting back now. I mean, right now, if you can work some overtime and get some extra money right now to buy food, you should do it. If you can think forward to solve problems that don't exist yet, which is what preparing is, but if you can do that almost militantly right now with extreme discipline, and really think about, man, what resources do I have now that I might not have in the future that I need to capitalize on, and then do it. I mean, I've been pretty straightforward as far as the homestead goes. We've got an addiction to the feed store that we need to break, okay? We're working on it. I think I'm gonna buy a scythe, just cause, and I'm going to, because our hay field doesn't make sense to bale it, and I've baled a lot of freaking hay. It's too small to bale, but I can get out there with a scythe and a wheelbarrow, a garden cart, and fill up one of those things every day and carry it back over to the sheep. I'd like to be able to turn the sheep out into that field, but it's going to take a couple grand worth of fencing materials that I'm not keen on spending on fencing materials right now. So, I'd probably spend that sooner on red wheat and rice and beans and corn than I would on fencing currently. But, we are trying to figure out how to break our dependence. That's the point of this channel, by the way. We're figuring out how to break our dependence from the feed store. Just one more facet of the system that we are intertwined with. The point of this channel, by the way, Bear Independent, is to be as wildly independent from the system as possible. I've had people say, well, I don't understand how you could be independent having one of them YouTube channels. Like, bro, at least I'm trying. And I'm trying to bring you along for the ride with me, literally along for the ride with me this morning, to edify, encourage, and educate. Here's what we do. Here's what works for us. This didn't work. This sucks. This is good. Try this. Don't get discouraged. Keep going. Do the things, right? But I want to be as wildly independent from the system as possible. I literally, when the world ends, I want somebody to show up at my house weeks later and go, hey, did you know the world ended? I'm like, no, I had no idea, man. That sucks. Yeah, I was just out here feeding sheep, man, shooting YouTube videos. I was wondering why they wouldn't upload. Oh, that's right, the world ended. Okay, so that's the point of the channel. But, everything that I see between the geopolitical conditions in this country, socioeconomic status, and just the, what would you call it? The maliciousness, the way that it's punch counter punch right now. People are done talking, and that's not great. It's not healthy for a democracy. I'm sorry, you meant representative republic? Oh, right. Okay. Roger that. Cool. But the left and the left wing and the right wing are attached to the same bird, and that bird is cancerous, says me. I don't want anything to do with it. I want to be independent of that. I want to be independent of the food system as much as possible. Produce as much of that as I can as possible. I want to be independent of the monetary system. That being said, I don't really trust Bitcoin. I own a little bit of it. A little bit, like a few $100s of it, which, depending on the day, is either $8 or $9 million of crypto. Like, you know what I mean? I don't trust it at all. And I think that it could be tied to one world government and the mark going forward, which was a great conversation I had with that same brother recently. And I told him, I said, I think I gotta shoot some videos on this stuff. He's like, go for it, man, go for it. So, especially since he was supposed to start a YouTube channel and hasn't yet, just saying. So I'm gonna steal all your good ideas and shoot videos on them. But I want to be independent of the monetary system, and I'm independent of the church system, right? I read my own Bible. I have my own convictions, my own beliefs, because I don't trust. I mean, 2 words for you: Catholic Church. No thanks. I'm good, right? So that's the idea behind Bear Independent, just to clarify for those who are interested. Now, again, Long Term SHTF. I think it's going to be a long one, folks. And to that end, I think you should stack food to the rafters. I mean, just stack food to the rafters. Should we go out to eat tonight or buy more rice and beans? Ugh, buy more rice and beans. Just cause. Just cause. I mean, stack food to the rafters. That conviction has not left me. It only gets stronger every day. I mean, I have today, after I get done with this on-site meeting with these clients, there have been 27 tornadoes in this region in the last 48 hours, and there's catastrophic flooding along the Arkansas River Valley. Food is strength. We have people to feed. We have to deploy Bear Nation to go help these people, which, by the way, I need help in Ocala, Florida. I need help in Nebraska, and I may need help in Oklahoma. So if you're interested, email me at admin, ADMIN, at bearindependent.com, or you can go to bearindependent.com and use the contact us page, because we're going to be spinning up Bear Nation pretty quick to respond to all of this. Okay, but having food to address these situations is vital. Like, it's what we do. We feed people, we love on them, and we fix what's broken. Broken in here and broken out there. Food, stack it to the damn rafters. Figure out how to produce food. Directive 2, produce food. Once that food runs out, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna eat? You know, you can't eat the 5-gallon bucket you put the rice and beans in, but you know, you might eat the goat that can eat the bucket, you know? So you need to have a way to produce food, and believe me, it's tremendous, bigly. Now, it's not easy to produce food, but it can be done, and you should really start doing it now, so you learn how to do it now, because you are going to make mistakes. Your survival seed vault will kill you because you won't know how to use it. Okay, to say nothing of the fact that there's a nutrient deficiency, caloric deficiency, that's what I'm looking for. Most of the stuff that's in those survival seed vaults takes more calories to plant and harvest than you get back from the harvest. That's a problem. That's a major problem. It's the reason that grains and potatoes are so popular around the world, because they're very dense in calories, and they don't take a whole lot of effort, especially with modern agriculture, to produce food from. Well, modern agriculture is going to go away, I think, and it's going to get harder to grow food as we get into this grand solar minimum cycle, I think, which means you really ought to be practicing now like we are. And we're not perfect at it. Hell, we're barely great at it. I mean, I would say we're good. We're not great, we're good, right? And I want to be awesome at it. Good and awesome are not the same thing. I want to be awesome at it. So start now, keep practicing, right? And then step 3 is figure out, or directive 3, that's this many for everybody's playing along at home. For my Marines, that's a red crayon, a blue crayon, and a green crayon. That makes 3, okay? Don't eat them. And, oh, the ears pop, tremendous. We're in the foothills of the mountains. Be useful. Man, if this economy tanks going forward, which I think it will, right? Global food prices coupled with global oil prices, scarcity economy, things are not gonna be tremendous, right? So figure out how to be useful, how to earn a day's wage without any money changing hands, What useful skills do you have? And I get this question all the time. Well, what's a useful skill in SHTF? Man, physical, visceral, tactile skills, I think, are going to be very important, because there's things that are going to need to get done, right? Growing food is really useful. Being able to turn wrenches is useful. But it also doesn't mean that, you know, all our programmers and our commo guys and our IT guys and all of these people aren't going to be useful either, because I have no idea what precisely SHTF is going to look like. And it may take, and I say this with all love in my heart, it may take an army of nerds to fix it. And I am not one of them. So have at it, nerds. I will cover your 6 while you do whatever this is on the keyboard, okay? But figure out, how are you going to be useful in whatever comes ahead right now, while you have resources at hand. And I get it, man. You don't understand, T? Yeah, I understand. I've made crap money too. And then I hustled. I'm hustling right now. I'm talking to y'all while driving to go meet a client. Hustle, baby. Get after it. But figure out how you're going to be useful going forward. Directive 1, stack food to the rafters. Directive 2, figure out how you're going to produce food. Directive 3, figure out how you're going to be useful in a modified economy going forward. where perhaps no money is changing hands, or there's very little money changing hands. What can you do to earn a meal for you and your family every day? I think that SHTF is going to be a long-term thing. It's going to be a coupling of the political climate in the United States of America, plus crop losses all around the world, plus economic collapse because our monetary policies are unsustainable. I think those three things are the perfect storm. I've been talking about it for a long time, but gosh, I don't like it. So that's my thoughts. Hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you want to be here, hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell. You guys know that YouTube algorithm has been kicking people off. I don't love it. It's not tremendous. So do those things. Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and come see us on Patreon. It's $1 a month with 0 censorship and 24 exclusive pieces of content a month. So yeah, it's worth the price of admission, I think. It's about 4 cents a post, 3 cents a day, something along those lines. Anyway, shalom and blessings, y'all. You guys are tremendous with a knife hand. I'm about to be in a tunnel. I'll talk to y'all later.